Hello everyone, it's Jamie and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another update video. In this video I have one tiny little finish, which I will end up starting the video with is I want to get the finish out of the way, and then I will also be showing my whips that I worked on, and I'm going to be talking more about Flossmas because as I keep coming up with things, I'm just going to keep sharing the plans that I have so far. So I'm going to start off with my finish, and my finish for the week was I finished my travel piece. My travel piece was a tiny little project, so it didn't take that long, and it was the chart Vampire's Lair, which is from Witch's Garden Crafts on Etsy, and the chart is free when you buy the bookmark, which you will see here. So you buy the owl bookmark and you get the chart for free as a PDF, like it's sent later after your order ships, and it's a quick little stitch, and now I have an adorable little bookmark that is stitched, so that's fun. It's kind of hard to show though because you can keep seeing the reflection of the bookmark, but it's stitched up really quick, and you can see that I think last time that I had showed it I still had to stitch the black and then all of the blue, and so I stitched the bats first, and then after that I was able to just fill in the blue without having to look at the chart anymore, so it went really quickly. I could like pre-thread a couple of needles and then just stitch away on the blue when I was in the car waiting at school. Forever. School pickups take forever. And I'm not even the first one at the school pickup. I want to know what time do these people get there, because I'm not first and I'm still there forever. So they must be there the whole day. I don't know. Anyways, so there is Vampire's Lair. And now that it's done, I need a new travel project. And I don't think I'm going to start something new right now. My plan, I think right now, is because it's still October, I am going to move one of my Halloween projects into my travel stitching space, and then I just don't want to start something new right now. I already know that in December I'm planning a new start, and so I don't need to start anything right this second. So I will move on to what is going to be my new travel project, which is Tonight We Ride, which is by Autumn Lane Stitchery. I am loving stitching on this chart so much, so I figured it was the perfect thing to move to a car project, and here it is. So I focused on the moon in the last week, and I got the moon done, and then I also stitched some of the lights in the window because I still had some of this color on my needle from when I stitched the moon, so I just went down here and filled that in. And then my plan is, first of all, okay, this is an 11 by 11 Q-snap. This is not going to work for traveling for me very well, so I'm going to move it into, I have a small nerd hoop somewhere, and so I'm going to put it into one of those because it will fit better in a project bag in my car. So I'll be doing that, and then my plan is to stitch on the next witch. So if you see, there's a space in the moon that you don't stitch there, and that's some of the black for the witch that goes, like, I think it's the first witch. So I'm going to stitch on her next and get the witch stitched. I think I want to get the sky stitched first before I continue moving down and stitch all the stuff at the bottom. The house at the bottom looks like a lot of dense stitching, so that's going to be interesting. And this is being stitched on a 16 count fabric called This Is Halloween from Witch's Garden Crafts, and I am stitching it 2 over 1 full cross. And I love it. It's just such a fun little piece, and because there's not a lot of colors in it, it's pretty easy to stitch, nice and relaxing when you're doing things like I watched movies, you know, it's fun. So there was that. And then I will show my other Halloween piece, which got less work, but I did work on it, I think, one day when I was watching American Horror Story Delicate, and that is Festive Frosted Pumpkin Cottage. I'm looking down because I have a notepad down here with the names, and that is by Witchy Stitcher. And here is where I got to on this chart. I focused on stitching the moon, and you can see there's like the outline of some bats that are going to be in the moon, and then I also stitched a little bit on the house here, and that was all that I got done. This is being stitched on a fabric that I forgot to look up the name for. I think it's called Deep Sea. I don't remember who is the dyer, but if I go later I could look on my Instagram and see, because I use this fabric for Red Ship of Lesser Commitment, and so I just need to go look on my Instagram post, and then I'll find the name, and then I can like write it on the screen here so you'll see who it's by. I love this fabric. I also have a piece of fabric from the same dyer for whenever I get to start Link from Pinky the Pink, but I don't know when that will be. But I bought the fabric when I was in Colorado because looking at fabric in person is just so fun, and we went to a cross-stitch store in Colorado when we went to the stitching retreat, and so I had to buy the fabric. But Anyways, this is being stitched on 28 count 2/2 full cross, and it's just such a fun little chart. So there's that, and I will keep stitching on these. Like I said, this will be a travel project. This one will be the one that I stitch on like when I watch movies. I know, when does it come out? It doesn't come out until like the end of the month. There's the Five Nights at Freddy's movie coming out, and my kids really want to watch that, so I'll probably stitch on this while they watch that, because I don't know about Five Nights at Freddy's movie. That sounds creepy. I don't like scary Halloween. I like cute Halloween, like Disney Halloween. I can't do anything more than that. And then I had a project that I worked on for 2 days. Every month I have one project that is assigned to get 2 days in that month, and this last month that chart was Walking in the Rain. I am stitching the large cropped version from Artisy. Here it is now. I only worked on this the 2 days. I barely got the 1,000 stitches in, which is my goal. So for every day I want to do 500 stitches on it, and I barely did it. And then I was like, it's time to put this away because I got tired of stitching confetti, and this chart is all confetti. So I worked my way across the top row. So this is the very end of the top row. And then I just started filling in the colors along the top. So I worked my way over trying to get things filled in, and that's what I did. This is being stitched on a 28 count 2/1 tent stitch, which is a half stitch. And there is that. And then the other piece that I worked on around the same time that I worked on Walking in the Rain, and I think part of why I didn't want to work on Walking in the Rain is that the piece I'd worked on right before is a confetti heavy piece, and then that piece has a ton of confetti. And so I was just like, nope, I am done with confetti. And so this one is Dark Cinderella, which is by Pain Free Crafts. It has a ton of confetti, just like Walking in the Rain. And here is where I am. I wanted to try and finish the diagonal that I was working on, and I am almost done with the diagonal. So wait, this is the wrong way. It goes this way. I only know that because the orange is supposed to be on the top. Anyways, so I worked my way down. I usually stitch cross country through a diagonal, so for this piece I'm stitching it in 20 stitch wide diagonals. I stitch cross country. Usually I will start by working in my parked threads. So all these threads that are parked, I'll start here at the top and start working all the parked threads in, and then I will go through and fill in the colors that need to be stitched. So on this column here that I'm working on, or this diagonal, I already stitched all the parked threads in, and now it's just a matter of filling in the colors that didn't have threads. So I'm down at this bottom portion here. This area here is going to need all new threads, so that's the thing that stops me, is I hate starting new threads sometimes. And there's not a ton left, but there's so much confetti. There's color changes everywhere. There are no blocks of color. It's just all scattered stitches everywhere. So that is why I got tired of confetti. This is being stitched on a 32 count 1/1 tent stitch. And the one thing I will say is 32 count, yes, it's small, but I love the way that it is to stitch with one thread, because you don't have to worry about the way that like two threads sometimes they get twisted or anything. With one thread it's just all smooth. Even in the confetti areas it's like flat, because sometimes in 28 count 2/1 sometimes you'll get like kind of like thicker areas that are kind of raised compared to everything else because of the color changes, but this is so smooth. So I am liking the way that it's stitching up on 32 count. Yeah. That's all for that one, and like I said, I'm done with it right now. I wanted to finish the diagonal, but I can't because I am tired of confetti. I want to look for a chart for next week that just is blocks of color, and then just stitch nice blocks of color. That's what I really want. And then the other chart that I have to show is I have 2 more charts that I worked on, and there is Stardew Valley Winter, which is by Glitch Stitch AU. My goal is to get this chart finished hopefully by December. I would actually like to get it finished in the middle-ish of November, because I ordered the frame, and the frame is supposed to be here in the middle of November. And the frame I ordered is just off of Amazon, so if anyone was wondering or stitching these, I ordered this one here is from Amazon too. I can link it down in the description box. And it's a 6-inch frame, and I think the actual inside, so it's 6 inches from like the top of the circle. It's 6 inches from like top to bottom here. The inside portion is like 5.5 inches or something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was. And so that is what I went with. It wasn't that hard to find a frame. And I am planning on getting different colored frames for each one. So for this one I got gold, and in the exact same frame they had different colors listed. And so for the winter one I ordered one, and I ordered blue, and then I think for summer I plan on getting yellow, and then I was thinking about getting pink for spring. So yeah, I want to do different colors, have it be like a cute little series. So I ordered the frame for it. The frame's coming in November, so I would actually like to have this finished when the frame is here so that I can actually get it fully finished. And the last time you saw it, I was at 40%. I am at 50% now, which I am happy to be at the halfway point. But I also know that things are going to slow down stitching it because most of the blocks of color are finished. So the sky is blocks of color. There's a tree here, and it's going to be tons of confetti. I don't know if you can really tell, but it's going to be all stitches that are just spread out. And there's another tree over here that is also going to be confetti. So it's going to be a little bit slower now stitching it, but I'm at 50%, so yay. And this is 28 count, 2/1 tent stitch. And I think it makes it when you stitch it on 28 count, I think the finished size is supposed to be like somewhere around 5.5 inches. So it might be a little more than 5.5, but I can't remember exactly what it was, but there it is. I am hoping to have it finished though in November, so fingers crossed that I keep getting a lot done on it. And then the next one that I have to show, and I finally moved it into like an actual bag so it's protected, and I also moved it into a Q-snap so I have more space, and it's Autumn Harmony by Maxine Gadd, and my plan is to stitch on it almost every day. I'm not sure yet if I'm going to take December off because I plan on doing Flossmas, so what I might do is try and like stitch more on it during November and then also stitch more on it in January, just take December off for my Flossmas plans. Anyways, here she is. I put her into a bigger Q-snap, so this is 11 by 17, and that way I can stitch on different areas if I want to. So like there was a couple days last week that I stitched on her neck because her neck has blocks of color, and so I can get my 200 stitches in really quickly in this area, and in this area it's a lot slower. So there was a couple days where I didn't have a lot of time, so I stitched over here, and then on days when I have more time I am stitching in this area here, which is the area with the confetti on the side. So I was working on that, and I also reached the halfway point working down this one row here. I think the halfway point of the chart is here, so that means we're getting closer to reaching the bottom, because that's what I want to do, is I want to reach the bottom on this side that I'm stitching down, and then I want to kind of stitch over and then up or something, or go back up to the top and stitch down. I don't know, I just want to get the outline stitched and then I can fill in as I go. So there she is. This is 18 count, 2/1 full cross. And I'm still loving it somehow, which normally I get tired of charts pretty quickly, but I think especially because now that I have it in the bigger thing, I can stitch on different colors. So like if I get tired of these colors here, I can stitch over here and, you know, move around a little bit. And that will give me a little bit of variety within the chart. My plans for the next week is I will keep stitching on Autumn Harmony, I will keep stitching on Stardew Valley, and then I don't have anything else like concrete settled yet. I think I want to look through my goals sheet that I had and kind of look at what I haven't reached my goals on, because I was also thinking about, okay, I have 3 charts that only have 60,000 stitches. I think there is Mini Masquerade Pale Dawn by Hade, Little Gamer by Gecko Rouge, and Fables by Gecko Rouge. And so I was thinking that next year, if I picked one of those charts as like a focus piece and tried to do like 5,000 stitches a month, I could get one of those charts finished next year. So that's one thing that I've been thinking about, but also 5,000 stitches a month could be a lot when I'm also stitching on Autumn Harmony daily and stuff, but I don't know. I kind of want to start getting some of these things out of my rotation though, you know, like out of my whips and finish them, because some of them, like that 60,000, I mean, I say that it's not a lot, but hold on. I have my spreadsheet here. Where is it? And so far this year, I have stitched 124,000 stitches. So thinking about that, it's like I could finish one big project in a year if I were to just focus on one big project, or I could take the 120,000 stitches that I know I'm going to stitch in the year and then put it towards, you know, some of these projects that are like 60,000 stitches, and then I could actually get a few things out of my whip list that have been there for a while. I don't know. I'm still kind of thinking about how I want to do that next year, about if I want to just like focus solely on a couple projects and then actually get some bigger things finished, or what I'm going to do. I am not sure yet, but it's something I've been thinking about. And then also I was going to talk about Flossmas plans. So I was planning on starting the chart Christmas 2, I think is what it's called, which is a Heaven and Earth Designs chart, and I will insert the picture again of what it looks like. I love the colors. I had bought the floss for it in 2020, so I have pulled all the floss out now. I am stitching this with CXC. I ordered it, like I said, in 2020, and there were a couple of colors that I had taken out of here because I had used them for other things throughout the last, 3 years. So I ended up I placed an order on Etsy for the colors that I was missing. I think I was only missing like 10 colors. And I also ordered from the same seller. CXC doesn't come in the new colors, I don't think. So the colors 1 through 35. And the seller that I bought the CXC from had a different brand. I think it was called like Rose to Me or something. And they had colors 1 through 35. And I needed a few of those colors for this chart. So I ordered those from that seller too, just to try them out and see how they are. Because I've never used, I've used CXC, but I haven't used any of the other brands that are out there. So I figured I would try it out. So I got that. And then I also got a 32 count piece of fabric in case I decide I want to stitch it on 32 count. So my Christmas chart, I am getting it ready. So I need to make floss cards for this still, which I have a video before that I can link on how I make my floss cards. And I will be doing that same process for this with all of this CXC. So I need to start working on this this month. Alright, I am jumping in here with just a quick little thing that I forgot to talk about when I was recording the video. I am editing the video right now, and so this is like future me coming back to talk about something that I forgot. Regarding the Christmas 2 chart from Hade, another thing that I was going to mention that I plan on doing with the chart is the chart is normally 700 by 500 stitches, which is a lot. It ends up being like 300,000 plus stitches. Hold on, I will pull it up on my laptop. And I decided that I am cropping out, I think, 10 rows off of the top of the chart because the top row, or the top 10 stitches of the chart is all like the ceiling of the room, and there's not a lot of like detail that you miss by cropping that out. And then I also plan on cropping out, I think it's 50 rows off of the right side of the chart where the tree is. I will insert a picture because I already marked it off in Pattern Keeper, the rows that I'm cropping off. So like I marked all of them off so they are completed stitches, and cutting out the top 10 rows and the side 50 rows is getting rid of 31,000 stitches from the chart, but it's not really going to change most of the details because I'm only cutting out like part of the tree where there's not really a lot going on, and the top row that's just like really dark. So I will insert on Pattern Keeper what it looks like to have the section like marked off and how that looks. And I just wanted to make everyone aware. So like right now it says that I'm at 9% of the chart. Obviously I haven't stitched anything, but I just cut off 9% of the chart. And so I wanted to have it out there that like my starting numbers are going to seem wrong whenever I start this chart and whenever I keep track of progress. So like when I do start it and I get to like 10%, I've only done 1% because I had marked off some of the chart to not stitch. So I just wanted to throw that out there. And also it's something where it's like I'm realizing on charts that sometimes pieces can be cropped off. So you don't have to always do the full chart because like I said, that's 30,000 stitches that to me don't seem necessary because it's not any important part of the picture. Anyways, back to the regular video where I was talking about, I don't even know. Anyways, back to editing. Bye! Another thing that I am planning on doing this year for Flossmas is I found a shop on Etsy that has Christmas ornament advents. And so you are just making a tiny little ornament, but every day you get a new piece of the ornament to stitch. And so it's a small amount of stitching that's manageable to do in a day. And then at the end of the 24 days, you have a cute little ornament made, and I love that idea. And the shop is called That How To Girl, and for the new designs, because it's been done a few years, it looks like, according to the Etsy, for the 2023 ones, you can order a full kit that has the hoop, the fabric, and then it has like a backing fabric, it looks like, and then obviously like the floss. And then for those ones, the advent comes on actual like cards. I'll insert the picture. So it's like actual like really like fancy looking cards that every day you pick the new card and then you get your little section to stitch. And then you can order the cards only if you already have, you know, all the fabric and stuff to do it yourself. And then for the older ones, she has it to where you can order a PDF and then you just print it out yourself, cut it out, and then you can like put it, like I have my advent box thing that I'm planning on using, and so I want each of like the days in my advent box. So there are options, and then there's also different like themes, so like you don't really get to see the full picture unless you scroll through all the Etsy pictures. Don't look at all the pictures if you want it to be a surprise. Just like look at the listing kind of and then just be like, okay, I'll buy that. Don't look at all the pictures. You'll get the surprise ruined. So there's a couple that I know what they look like already, and so I'm going to be ordering one of the ones where I didn't see the picture because I want it to be a surprise ornament. And so I think the one I might get is called Holiday Treats. There's also one, hold on. I'm either going to get Holiday Treats, which is an older one where I'd be getting the PDF, or there is one of the newer ones that is called Home Sweet Home. And that is one where I'd most likely get the cards only because I don't really need the kit because I already have fabric and stuff. So that is something that I think I'm going to do this year for Flossmas. I'm just kind of trying to figure everything out early because then if I do like that ornament, I need to make sure I have all the floss and stuff ready and, you know, be prepared so that I'm not scrambling at the last minute. I think that is all that I have though for an update. I might do 24 hours of cross stitch this weekend, but I am not sure. I'm filming right now on a Thursday. 24 hours of cross stitch starts on Friday, so that would be tomorrow. And I most likely would not be able to do a full 24 hours. I already know that. So I would just kind of be doing as much as I can. That's all you can do is your best, you know? So if I do that, I will most likely film it or do something to, you know, show my progress on it. So we will see if I manage to get that done. And I'll be back hopefully in the next week or two with some progress, hopefully getting this closer to being finished. I really want this finished. And that is all that I have. So thank you everyone for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing, and I will be back soon, and I will see you all then. Bye!